thank you very much, everyone, for being with us today. Frédéric, it's a pleasure to have you on stage. I know that 2024 is a special year for TotalEnergies, which celebrate is 100 years old birthday this year, in a context where the strategy is increasingly moving to a multi-energy model. Maybe to start the discussion, it would be great to hear you about your strategy at TotalEnergies and how AI is a part of this transformation.
So, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Alexander, for inviting me. So it's clear that, yes, it's a very special moment in the company, 100-year anniversary. You have only that once in a lifetime. And what is interesting to see is that finally the company has always used, adopt, and look for technology to be able to develop more and more energy that the world is asking for. And in the last 10 years, it has been even accelerating with the big shift we've done, moving from being an oil and gas company to a multi-energy company on both pillars, oil and gas, but also electricity, where we want to be a worldwide leader in a few years in terms of renewable energy. So it's accelerating. And so technology at the heart of that, that's also digital is seen as key to be able to cope with this transformation and transition. That's why we created the Digital Factory to accelerate our transformation in 2020, with already at the beginning of the Digital Factory, AI at the heart of the ambition.
Yeah, definitely. And we can imagine the potential for use cases to transform the business, the operations. Could you say a word on a concrete example of where you put AI to transform business process or any function in the company?
Yeah, I will give three different examples. First one, even if it's the latest technology, I think it's interesting to see how we want to embrace, for example, generative AI. For us, generative AI is a very good technology to have the potential to put AI in the hand of everybody. That's why we very quickly open the ability to everybody in the company. So 100,000 people had access to a secure ChatGPT already just after the summer last year. And then we have also decided to deploy for 30,000 people this year Office 365 Copilot, because we are sure that the generative AI for everybody is something that could help people to be more efficient, simplify their job, and also improve their creativity. And as we want it to be a model, we also have deployed generative AI and GitHub Copilot, for example, for our developer to increase their productivity and the quality of what they are developing. This is the first case. Second case is around safety, because safety core value in our company. You can imagine that the safety is at the heart of our operation. And AI and digital solutions are really helpful. For example, two examples. One is we are using computer vision at edge with AI in real time to detect a risky situation. For example, when people are installing solar panel on rooftop, it's everywhere in the world, very difficult to monitor. So we've created a solution to be deployed everywhere in the world to help people to avoid accidents. And on the other side, we also are creating a kind of assistant with generative AI to help the people who are checking the work and doing the risk assessment using thousands of documents that are existing in the company, and to make sure they are able to target the right risk and the right countermeasure. And the last point is we have a big ambition to lower our CO2 emission, because it's very key for our business. And today we have deployed a solution to be able to monitor and show energy consumption and emission at a unit level in all our big installation, then to be able to detect abnormal behavior, I would say, and to propose and suggest correction to make sure that we decrease our emission in our operation.
Very interesting. Definitely, we see opportunities for AI is very huge. all know that TotalEnergies is a global company. You have operation in 120 countries. We can imagine such a complexity in the way to identify, deploy, and foster adoption. Can you say a word on how, in such a complex organization, you work on fostering adoption of AI use cases at scale?
Yeah, it's true that we are a very big company, operating a bit everywhere in the world, even in places that are not easy to operate. And we have very diverse activities. So scaling technology and AI, first, we decided at the early beginning, very early, several years ago, that we will build most of our new solutions on the cloud. That allow us to have direct access to the latest innovation, but also to be able to deploy all our solutions needing only a telecom link, in fact. And so not having to install infrastructure in places where we are not able to operate this kind of infrastructure. So the cloud helps us a lot. And the second point is we also decided to move directly, and this is really the heart of the digital factory, to industrialization of artificial intelligence. So everything we built is designed to be able to be run in any condition, far from the headquarters, with very robust technology to make sure that it could be run on the long term and that people trust the solution. It was really key. I will take two examples. The first one is we have a solution that is deployed which is able to monitor our main equipment on any big industrial platforms. And it is deployed in 6 countries, 15 different sites, even in the middle of nowhere in the North Sea or in desert. And we are monitoring 3,500 machines. 300 of them, more critical, are monitored by AI models that are self-learning and auto-training based on feedback of users. And it's 100 model just for this case. And the second one is we are also monitoring 650 solar and wind plants in France from a single point in Montpellier, one command center able to manage the alarm of all these assets and to send people when needed, just on time, just in the right place, to make sure that we choose the right place to send people to. And so we have more than 600 models that are now running in production on the day-to-day.
Well, so to support this acceleration, you launched 3 years ago a digital factory. And if we look back, definitely technologies have evolved over the last 3 years. I'm sure that your teams have gained in maturity. So I assume you have changed the way to deliver use cases. Could you say a word how you have changed over the last years the way to build and deploy AI at TotalEnergies?
It's clear that digital is a journey. So our business are learning, and we are learning how to build, deploy, and maintain a solution in all our activity. And what is important, and it's in French, it's tarte à la crème, but we've really seen that data was the heart of it. Without data, no digital, and without data, no AI at all. And when I say no, without data, we have plenty of data in the company. Without data that are accessible in a good quality and managed on the day-to-day, on the long term, you can't build solutions that are able to run on very difficult environments and that you keep the trust of the end user. So data is key. And we also seen that finally, doing all this work on data for our use cases brought us the ability to also give access to this data, because more and more people on our site, our engineers, etc., are not experts, but they have skills and they are able to use data as well. And so we are moving to, little by little, we are trying to develop a kind of data science, citizen data scientist culture. And all the effort we do on the data for our own use case is something that we could bring benefit to our end users. The second subject after is, as I said, data science and artificial. what we've seen, it's improved over time. So we had to change the mindset of our end users. They are engineers, they are building very complex stuff, and they always want to have everything at the top in terms of result. So it was very difficult to tell them that we wanted to build AI system that we put in production after a few months that were not so accurate, but at the end of the day, they would improve. And I have an example. We've built a solution to predict the quality of battery cells. We have a Saft company which is building batteries for plenty of different industries. And they were testing the battery physically. Every battery at the end of the process was tested physically. It takes 2 weeks to make sure that charge and discharge was showing the quality of the battery. And finally, we put artificial intelligence directly on the shop floor, directly on the manufacturing plant. And the first version was less than 50% accuracy. And people wanted to give up and to say, okay, we stop. Say, let's continue, let's improve, let's give feedback to the model. And after a few months, the result improved, and now the model is completely live in the plant. It has reached the right accuracy, and they wanted to deploy it in the US now in other plants. And it was tough to convince them to continue, but we have learned that building artificial intelligence in an office doesn't mean anything until you've put it in the real world with real data, in a real environment, with real feedback. And the last point, perhaps it's on generative AI, we have changed completely our approach, much more pragmatic because we are discovering this world. And so we have just fixed the framework, technology and cybersecurity, and we let everybody try, but we've just put a governance in place, which I share, to look at all experimentations that are done, get the feedback, learn together, and then we can choose which case makes the more value, are the more important to focus on.
Well, so definitely it's a huge success you have worked on. You said definitely AI transformation is a journey, you have done a lot. What are your main priorities looking forward in terms of technology, use case, or roadmap in the coming months and years?
Yeah. Priorities, we have plenty, but I would say first, we've built around 85 solutions today in the digital factory that are live in all our activities in probably more than 30 countries. And we continue to deploy what we have built, and we continue to build new solutions. So we want to continue this pace, but we also want to make sure that we concentrate on the solutions that are bringing the more value and are putting the more, they are transforming the more and helping the more the company transformation. That's why we also want to raise the bar in the level of technology we want to provide. And to raise the bar and to increase the level of technology, it's not just technology for technology. You need to find the proper use case. So we have embarked with a journey with a business to restart a kind of ideation process to see, okay, you've seen after 4 years what we were able to do. What could we do in the coming years? And so we've launched a Vision 2030 exercise in order to detect the more disruptive and transformative solution we could build, and in which of the cases AI could be a lever, knowing that we will probably move from 50% of AI in all our products today to 80% tomorrow. This is the first point. The second point is to do that, we need to have the right teams. We have already, and I'm quite proud that we have a very good pool of talents. Not only in the digital factories, there is around 50 people very skilled in AI in our R&D program. We have 40 people in the digital factories that are more on the industrialization of AI, so a mix of data science and machine learning engineering. And we have also very good teams in the IT that are providing all the different infrastructure cloud platform, how can we access to the new LLM models, etc. So they are working with us, and this is the three of us are really creating a pool of competencies. It works well. I'm also very happy to see that we continue to attract a lot of people. To be honest, I'm very lucky. I have no issue to recruit people, very skilled people in data science today in the digital factory. So, but we continue because our projects are very interesting, and so we continue to build on that and to make sure that finally, as our predecessor, who during 100 years were pioneers in discovering new technology in the energy world, we want to continue to be in the same spirit and to provide AI as a new technology for transition, so to continue in the spirit of being also a pioneer, probably not for 100 years, but I hope for a few decades.
Okay, thank you, Frédéric. It was very interesting, and of course, wish you a lot of success for the coming years.
Thank you.
Thank you.